Money, 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 money. Money. Some people has got to have it. Yeah. Do things, do things, do things. Great things with it. Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of Savage Cash. Here with me, Superman, your superhero of cryptocurrency. Today promises to be one of my most ambitious videos. In today's video, I am planning on bringing you a series of cryptocurrency types and the best 5 cryptocurrencies within those types. Now, I know that when I normally come online and talk about cryptocurrencies, I tend to talk about kind of top 5 best long terms, top 5 best this, top 5 best that. But what I'm going to do in today's video is I am going to show you the top 5, certainly what I believe to be the top 5 cryptocurrencies you can get within specific types. So privacy coins, ecosystems or infrastructures, platforms. So I am bringing you what I hope to be quite ambitious video. So if you are excited to learn about what the top 5s are, smash up the likes. Smash up the likes. And also let me know, what do you think of this dark look coin market cap? This is pretty awesome in my personal opinion. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But what we can see today is the market cap has slightly recovered from yesterday. It has gone up to about 306, 307 billion in the last few hours and has corrected a little bit down to 305 and the late 304s. We can see that Bitcoin's just above $8,000. It has been under $7,900 today. And some of the altcoins have gone up with it because the Bitcoin dominance has gone slightly down from yesterday. So even though it's gone up, so have some altcoins. So just to look at the trajectory that we have been looking at, it has been going nicely down according to the zigzaggy lines that I showed you towards the bottom or the floor of the Bitcoin price, but there is a slight green one-day candle there, so it's holding relatively strong. But looking at this, it looks like Bitcoin is going down to under $8,000. So we may see that reflected in CoinMarketCap when it refreshes. So we could be seeing the end of that slightly temporary bull movement. And I've been saying on Twitter in the last kind of 24 hours, guys, stop wrecking yourselves. Don't buy in a bear market because it's just going to end up, with you losing money. So, I mean, these are just they're called dead cat bounce or bull traps. So just don't fall for them. Okay, basically is all I'm saying. Anyway, so just before we go into what will be an ambitious video, let's have a look at the news. So what we are seeing is actually quite positive news. So blockchain tops 2017's fintech inquiries, says a Swiss finance regulator. So inquiries around blockchain cryptocurrency initial coin offerings in Switzerland have increased significantly last year. Okay, so in its annual report, out of 453 inquiries it received last year, 60% of them, so 271 cases, were focused on blockchain, cryptocurrency, ICO, and smart contract applications. So it's showing the growth. It's showing the potential of fintech companies adopting this technology for their businesses moving forward. And given this is 2017, I imagine that come the end of 2018, this will have gone up significantly from that 60%. What else? So, South Korea exchanges move to mainstream cryptocurrency use. Now, this is very, very odd, considering the South Korea FUD that we have had earlier this year. It looks as if South Korea, as it's already a major force in cryptocurrency trading, a series of recent announcements could set the Asian country on the path to becoming a crypto transaction powerhouse as well. So a report in the Korea Times states that Bithumb, the country's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, and Pay, a mobile payment service provider, have inked a partnership agreement to enable transactions at 6,000 business outlets across the country by the end of the first half of the year. So they're looking to make extreme progress this side of kind of end of June. So it looks like, the South Korea FUD is almost now being countered with South Korea positivity. So the goal is to ensure that spending cryptocurrencies is as easy as spending fiat money or cash. Okay, so that's why they've partnered with a mobile service provider to make it really easy. You don't have to go through all the kind of rigmarole of converting to fiat from your wallet to, well, or from an exchange to your wallet and then to fiat. This is looking to make it a lot easier in South Korea. So this just gives an indication of the spread of mainstream cryptocurrency adoption. And now this. So I have already predicted the ending of Coinbase via Ethos and also Binance by acting their fiat to crypto exchange. Now, it looks as if Coinbase are trying to... It looks like they've been given a kick up the backside. They've been woken up. 1.6 billion. Coinbase has made a big move towards supporting a bunch of Ethereum-based cryptocurrencies. This is very recent news. So Coinbase is going to be adding support for ERC20 tokens, which are obviously Ethereum blockchain tokens. They haven't said which, but they are going to be supporting hundreds of ERC20 tokens. So arguably the main ones. So not all 15 or 1600 cryptocurrencies, but the main ones. Okay, so you are going to be able to hold them in the Coinbase wallet. So they are trying to counter the great and disruptive work that Ethos have been doing. So it's about time they got given a kick up the arse, but personally speaking, I think it's a little too late. There's a lot that's happened with Coinbase within the last 6 months that leads you to think that this isn't necessarily a company you want to be trusting your money with, especially with what happened with the whole Bitcoin Cash scandal and various other blocks they've put on certain fiat, for certain fiat cash outs. So I think it's a little too late. Should have done this a bit earlier, then it wouldn't have given the likes of Ethos and Binance to power through and come through as suitable alternatives. Matrix, not the Matrix AI I spoke about the other day, but the other Matrix, which oddly enough, if you go to the website, is called Matrix with a Y.ai. They have had a 223% spike in price recently. This was over $1. It's come down a little bit, but it's at 162%. And, people have said, oh, Superman, you got to make sure that people know that this was not the Matrix you were talking about. It isn't. The Matrix I was talking about was MAN, not MTX. So this one, which has now gotten into the top 100 cryptocurrencies. And another one that's gotten into the top 100 cryptocurrencies at last is Credits. So Credits is a cryptocurrency that I have been... I suppose I've been kind of speaking positively about ever since it came onto IDEX exchange straight after ICO. It's now hit the top 100. And one of the reasons why is because they're going to be releasing a pre-beta version of the platform tomorrow. So, looks like we are going to see, a pre-beta version of the platform. We're going to be able to see, have they quashed all of the, the FUD that came from Ivan on Tech? Have they improved upon 488,000 transactions per second? We shall see. Now, in the meantime, let's just have a look on CoinMarketCap, refresh it, see if the prices have gone down, whilst also making sure that you guys can hear me and, are interacted with and everything. Yes, 415 people watching, 210 likes. Guys, smash the likes up. It's just not enough likes, peeps. Needs to be more. Just not good enough. Good afternoon, Karan. Who's here? Lucas, Crypto Leaks, Lambo1221, Michelle Williams is here. You think Coinbase... Nah, Coinbase is no killer. Coinbase is being killed. Barry Herbst is here. So we've got some of the regulars. Got some of the regulars and also names that I don't know. Wendy is here. Lisa Bittner is here. Crypto Leaks, love you too. So yeah, quite a few people in the house today. So thank you all for coming. Christine is here. Ixter is here. So it's not all just women. So yes, so loads of people here. Loads of people. West Ireland. Awesome. Right. So let's go to the piece de resistance. The price has gone down. Like I said, it's lost 5 billion literally in the space of 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes, 5 billion. So now you can probably see why when I go on my Twitter and I say, stop wrecking yourselves, peeps, now you know exactly what I mean. Don't buy in a bear market. Not right now. Now is not the time to buy. The time to buy is when it has gone down more and more convincingly. So you will have seen, do people ever learn? Smack face emoji. 306 billion. Yeah, this was 6 billion more than it is right now. So that's 6 billion just out and people getting wrecked. And I put another one yesterday where people were like, oh, Superman, what are you on about? There, I don't understand why people buying now are determined to get wrecked. Just leave it. Let the prices drop naturally. So, let's move on. This is going to be a powerhouse. So if you're excited, smash up the likes because this took a lot of work. So, and I hope that I'm on the right slide as well. That would be embarrassing. So, what I'm going to be covering today is the top 5 long-term coins per type. Now, why am I doing this? The reason why is because I want to give you guys enough time to strategize what are the coins you want to buy. Not what are the coins I like and want, you know, and I'm recommending you look at. No, what are the different types of coins within the certain classifications of cryptocurrency that you could look at with a view to investing in whilst they are at massive dips. Massive. And I'm talking like 90% dips in some cases, but mostly 80%, 70% dips. Okay, because the time when people buy tends to be at the top, tends to be at the ATH. And this is not the way to plan your retirement or fund your retirement. The time to get involved is during the significant dips, and this is one of the most significant in the whole time I have been in the cryptocurrency game. It has almost corrected prices right down to where they were like 6-7 months ago. And people never thought that after the last bull run or in the midst of the last bull run, they would ever have another chance. Now, I have been extremely lucky. In the past year, I have managed to set myself up for life using cryptocurrency. But there are lots of people that have joined recently that want to be able to have a kind of advantage on the people that are going to be coming into cryptocurrency over the coming months. So hopefully this will show you the cryptocurrency types you can profit from. So as with every single presentation I do, it's not financial advice. Please do your own research to assist your buying decisions and just use this as an opportunity to cross-reference that research. Okay, so let us get to it. So what I'm going to concentrate on firstly is what are the top 5 coins in the privacy field. Privacy is what John McAfee said this year was going to be one of the most explosive types of coins, okay? And he said if you're a holder of these coins, you're going to be very happy moving forward in the future. Now, he said this well before the massive dip. So you've got the chance to almost go back to the end of 2017 or end period of 2017 and get some of the prices that were there then. So, in at number 5, we've got Komodo. Now, Komodo has had a rapid rise during the bull run. So what you can see here is the H equals high, all-time high, and the N equals now, the price now, and the D is the discount. So currently it's 82% off its all-time high, which it achieved in the last bull run. And now it is at a measly $2.80. But what is Komodo? I'm only going to give a very short description of most of these coins because otherwise, we'll be here for 2 or 3 hours. So Komodo is a privacy coin. It's a multifaceted privacy coin in all honesty. Not only does it kind of deliver you returns for staking, it's also got atomic swaps attached to it, and it is in itself a customizable blockchain for businesses. Okay, so it's quite a big project, but at the heart of it, Komodo is a fork of Zcash, and Zcash is one of the main privacy coins. So Komodo is a fork of that and is private in nature, which means, you know, that the transactions are untraceable or the transactions are anonymous between person to person. All right, so Komodo is currently very low price considering where it has been and considering the multifaceted nature of it. In at number 4, we've got Cloak Coin. Cloak Coin was my number 1 privacy type a few months ago, and it is the wrong way around. Right, so it should be the highest 36 and the now is 562. So anyway, it is currently an 84% reduction from its all-time high of $36. Now this spiked during the bull run because of the Enigma framework. Okay, so Cloak Coin in itself is a private cryptocurrency. Now, a lot of the private cryptocurrencies allow you to do transactions privately or in an untraceable fashion via the Tor network. And the Tor network is basically an untraceable kind of internet framework, okay? Now, Enigma is the framework by which you can make transactions with Cloak Coin. So they've created their own space where you can do transactions, and that is Enigma, using the Cloak coin. And because of that, and because that really grew in the latter part of 2017, this really grew during the bear run and has since corrected 84%. So it's a private cryptocurrency that has shown the potential to grow massively and is currently down at 562, which is lower than it was back in like September. So it's very, very cheap right now. And number 3, we've got Verge. Now, Verge is like the people's favourite privacy coin. Verge has a massive supply, which always stood in its way, but this is a cryptocurrency that is used via the Tor network, so an untraceable private cryptocurrency. Loads of people love it. The marketing hasn't necessarily been brilliant. However, it has spiked since the latter part of 2017 to 30 cents. This made enormous profits for people that got it when I got it, which was around about 0.003 of a dollar to 0.006 of a dollar, which it was languishing in for months and months before it eventually spiked up hugely. Now, it has since gone back down to 4 cents, so not as low as it has been, but still has the potential to grow. So this is an 86% reduction in price. And number 2, Deep Onion. So Deep Onion, loads of people have been asking me to cover Deep Onion. Now, Deep Onion is another cryptocurrency, private cryptocurrency, which you can stake and get annual rewards with. Now, Deep Onion was a very undervalued cryptocurrency back in October. It was around about 86 cents, and then it spiked up astronomically to nearly $20. And it has since lost 90% of its value. So there's still a ton of people that really like it. Deep Onion has evolved from what it was. Back in the day when I first covered it, had a pretty crummy website, their marketing was terrible, but now the community is almost as big and as passionate as Verge. So this is a great opportunity potentially to get into a cryptocurrency that's lost 90% of its value and just ride it and basically just leave your money in it. The people that play the cryptocurrency game the best, and I've said this before, are people who put their money in during a dip into a cryptocurrency that has lost a significant amount of value and just leaves it for years. And then you will come back to it and see that it has gone up dramatically as long as it's a quality coin with fundamentals. And in the privacy stakes, this is known as one of the, certainly one of the coins that people are most behind. And then at number 1, Zcash. Now, Zcash is the kind of, I suppose, one of the main privacy cryptocurrencies, up there with Dash. Now, the whole magic of Zcash was that it was always meant to be the alternative to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was kind of private in nature in terms of like your names and personal data isn't really stored on the blockchain. But it is still the case that there is some form of transaction record on the public ledger. But Zcash was meant to be zero proof. Okay, so it was meant to be an alternative to Bitcoin, but completely zero proof, zero evidence of transaction ever being made. So a completely private version of Bitcoin. Now, this into the massive bull run went up to nearly $6,000. Okay, nearly $6,000, seen as the best one. And this has had the most significant drop, almost a disastrous drop, nearly 100% from its all-time high. So this shows you, because what happens in cryptocurrency is it tends to be that when the bull run comes, the cryptocurrency that has had the biggest pullback tends to have the biggest like launch. When that elastic, when it's basically like a piece of elastic, if you put it back hard and far enough, a bit like 97%, once you let it go, it will just catapult. So the ones that have the largest drop are the ones that have the potential to make the largest gain. Therefore, this could be a very, very good one. Now, in terms of the kind of gainers that you can make, because this is quite a high valued coin, there's not necessarily the potential for huge gains. Like this would be a just over 20x, so probably 23x based on, probably a little bit more, my maths is terrible, 23x based on its all-time high. So it doesn't seem that great, but over time, over more and more bull runs in the future, this could go up to a 5-figure coin. Never know. So that is privacy coins. Next up, currencies. Okay, so this is literally stores of value that you transfer from one person to another. Okay, so it's just a currency. It's not a building cryptocurrency, it's not necessarily a private cryptocurrency, but it's just a currency that can be used to pay for things. And these are the ones most likely to be adopted mainstream once cryptocurrency starts going into the kind of the real world. Because this is where you can start using cryptocurrencies to buy things. So at number 5, surprisingly, is Bitcoin. All right, now the reason why I say surprisingly is because this is the number 1 cryptocurrency, really. However, it's had the smallest kind of percentage loss. Now, considering the price that it was, you know, you can see that there's such a huge amount to be gained. Now, the thing that's great about Bitcoin is that this is the one that traditionally, even in bear runs, has a relatively good trajectory up and a good trajectory down. Okay, meaning that it won't go down and make you lose absolutely everything. This tends to be one of those super savings accounts. Not best for the gainers, but very, very good for just putting your money in and having it constantly grow. And now it's gone down to the price it was around about October time. Okay, 7,000, 8,000. That was the same price in October. Okay, so this is essentially, if you had missed out on the bull run, you can almost start back where people started in October. So 60% down is the main cryptocurrency, probably the one that is going to be most likely adopted in the future. And number 4, Litecoin. This is the silver to Bitcoin's gold. This is arguably the next biggest and most popular cryptocurrency, and therefore has had the lowest drop compared to other ones. So this did get to nearly $400 at the peak and is now worth $138. So it's a 63% reduction. All right, so you are now able to get in at a price that it was way before December and at a low point, because Litecoin is probably the 2nd or 3rd most likely cryptocurrency to be adopted. Now, the LitePay was cancelled. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be another kind of LitePay-esque type of startup or some credit card company, a bit like 10x, or a debit card company like 10x or Stack or Centra, also adding Litecoin functionality in. So Litecoin, being the 2nd most popular, has also got a lot of credibility. It's a large cap coin, has the potential to grow over the course of years. Could be a good one to just put your money in and just let grow. Then we've got Bitcoin Cash. Now, Bitcoin Cash was very, very controversial last year. It came out, it was a fork of Bitcoin, and then Roger Ver kind of wanted to separate it from Bitcoin, and people that call it Bcash and all that, he hates because he wants it to have its own brand as Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash achieved a high of 4,355, a massive valuation, like literally over half of where Bitcoin is now. Shows you the progress it made. Now, it has since gone down to under $900. I own some Bitcoin Cash because this is essentially looked at as the faster and more scaled version of Bitcoin. Basically, because the block sizes are much bigger, so therefore it allows more transactions, therefore less slowness in the transaction process, and also because of the speed as well. All right, so this is meant to be seen as the improvement on Bitcoin, but it's kind of hampered by the Roger Ver effect, in my opinion. Kind of adds negativity to it, but it also has some credibility. It's been amongst the top cryptocurrencies, and is still, I imagine, not going to go away. Okay, so I imagine that as Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash continue to potentially battle it out over the year, there is the potential for Bitcoin Cash to continue growing and achieve this 4,000 and then some. All right, so Bitcoin Cash could be a really good investment for the future. Number 2, we have got Ripple, and we are talking about XRP, so basically the currency version, okay, not the protocol. So the protocol essentially is used by banks to transfer money instantly to other banks, other entities, okay? But the currency itself is soon due to be used to pay for in Starbucks. It's going to be used as a Starbucks payment method. So I imagine that over time, and this could be added as well, probably with more, priority to Coinbase. Okay, so Ripple is definitely one of the top cryptocurrencies, one of the top 5 cryptocurrencies generally, and it's currently at 59 cents. Now, Ripple is definitely a kind of cryptocurrency. It's a centralized cryptocurrency, essentially. It's got that association with the centralized world. It's got that association almost with the dollar because of the supply. and because people just generally do not like it and people don't want to touch it. But having said that, given that it's a hated cryptocurrency, it doesn't stop the fact that this could be used because it's a very, very fast transaction payment. And so it could be used easily and widely adopted when cryptocurrency goes mainstream. Therefore, even though you hate it, it could achieve massive growth for you. Nobody really wants it to succeed, but that doesn't necessarily stop it from being a good investment. And it's lost 85% of its value. And then number 1 is Groestel coin. Now, Groestel coin is a cryptocurrency that I reviewed. It's basically very, very similar in terms of features to Bitcoin and Litecoin, except it's faster, much easier to mine as well. So I think that it all comes in the algorithm. Okay, so the algorithm makes it much easier to mine. It's ASIC resistant, so it's not a monopolized area. It's not a monopolized coin where literally the ones with the greatest hash power can own more of the coin. No, it's got an easy algorithm, making it easy for regular miners to mine. So it has experienced an 86% reduction, and this was before it's really had a chance to grow as a cryptocurrency. So it's currently 37 cents, where it has been $2.69. So I think that there is a lot of growth, potentially, for Groestel coin. So those were the currencies. Now this is mainly so you have an idea of what you can just put money in and just leave it and just let it grow. This is not necessarily an exercise for you to think, right, what can I trade quickly? This is stuff to buy in the dip. Now, although these are at 86% drops, doesn't necessarily mean that this is the time to go in. You've got to kind of wait for a bigger drop. This could go down to 90 and more % off. Okay, and that means that you're getting it really at rock bottom compared to what it has shown you it can already do. So it's just literally a case of what's going to make you the biggest multipliers and just leave it in there. Right, next we've got the Internet of Things / supply chain cryptocurrencies. These are amongst the sexiest cryptocurrencies that have recently emerged as a cryptocurrency type. So what are the top 5? So at number 5, IOTA. So IOTA is really not necessarily even looked at as an Internet of Things cryptocurrency. It's more looked at as a progressive move in blockchain technology. So IOTA in court uses a technique called Tangle, okay, or a technology called Tangle. Now, Tangle is different from blockchain in the sense that it doesn't have chains, it doesn't have blocks, it doesn't have miners. It's a lightweight client. It's a lightweight technology for the transfer of value. Now, this is transfer of value not only for the Internet of Things, so devices to communicate with a company via this Tangle software, but also for people to send cryptocurrencies very, very quickly and in a feeless fashion. That is why IOTA has not corrected to the 30 cents that it was back in kind of October, November time. It is kind of 5 times that, or 4 times that. It's now $1.22, and I think that this is probably reaching the bottom of, or approaching the bottom of where it's likely to go to, and this has gone to $5.69. Now, a lot of the reason why people don't necessarily like IOTA is because of the wallet generator. People do not like there's been a lot of negative press with IOTA. There's quite a lot of people that defend it, quite a lot of people that hate it, namely one of them being Richard Hart, which is he's a prominent cryptocurrency kind of pundit, and he doesn't like IOTA, and he's explained multiple reasons why. I'm personally not an IOTA fan or investor, but that doesn't necessarily rubbish Tangle as a technology. Okay, so we're just gonna have to wait and see how that one progresses, but you can see that this has grown hugely, and it's at a 78% discount based on its highest. So this could be, as we go towards an even bigger bearish movement on the cryptocurrency market, this could be one to get at a low point. Number 4, we've got Modem. Now, Modem is a supply chain management tool for the pharmaceutical industry. So this is looking at drugs, how they are stored, how they are treated, and making sure that they are genuine, authentic items. Okay, so this is removing the counterfeit drugs which could harm people, removing the ill treatment of drugs while they're in storage or in transit. Modem is about making sure that it is treated so that the best product is delivered at the end. So it gives the supply chain information to those selling and those that are consuming as well. So at a high, this has gotten up to $13.31 and has since gone down to $2.31. Okay, so it has lost 82% of value. Now, this is one of the least talked about, but still one of the exciting ones, up there with VeChain in terms of tracking tools and knowing how goods are treated in transit. So I really like Modem. It's more niche than the likes of VeChain. However, that doesn't stop it from being any less credible, particularly as the pharmaceutical industry is a major profitable business as well. And number 3, we have Webby. Now, Webby, you cannot ignore that it has lost a hell of a lot of value. Now, Webby is all about counterfeit baby products, baby food, making sure, because what happened was that about 4 years ago, there were a number of infant deaths as a result of them taking counterfeit food or eating counterfeit food, which obviously killed them. So Webby is looking to use their RFID technology to make sure that the baby food is authentic and the baby food is right to consume. All right, so Webby came out recently out of ICO and exploded up to $5.86, since gone down to 76 cents, well under $1, which is what it entered in at when it came out of ICO pretty much. So an 86% reduction. Now this could be because Webby has run out of steam, or it could be that they are due a second wind. They were making a partnership with JD.com, so there's every likelihood this could explode later on and in the next bull run. Okay, so that's Webby. And number 2, we've got Internet Node Token. I've spoken about Internet Node Token. It's basically very much like IOTA. It's the IOTA of China. It's basically using deviceless technology to communicate with, or userless devices communicating with the blockchain. Okay, so it's a framework that enables devices to communicate at any given time to the blockchain, giving telemetrics or giving data to the blockchain. This would be good for any sort of industry, really, where there's electronics involved. So this doesn't require user data, therefore makes the user completely secure and allows for the device to just do all of the work, okay, and communicate privately with the blockchain. This has got a superstar team, and it's got superstar partnerships as well. Microsoft, Huawei, and IBM being some of these partnerships. Currently at 13 cents. This has gone up to $1.07. So this has every chance of exploding because this has not really been advertised to the Western world. In a similar way, AntShares wasn't until it rebranded to Neo and then all of a sudden was in front of the Western world. So this could be a rock bottom one to get in at because at 107, it still hadn't even really begun, you know, looking at the market cap that it had achieved at that point. So it's at an 88% reduction, could be a really good investment for your retirement. And then lastly, Car Vertical as number 1. Now, Car Vertical is basically the tracking history of cars. Okay, so so how their technology works is that the car data transmits the information to the Car Vertical database. Okay, now, so this is really for the car industry. So it's Modem for cars, right? So what you will be able to do with Car Vertical, go on a database, look at a particular vehicle, and it will tell you everything that has happened in its past. It's tell you if it's had its mileage tampered with, it's, you know, it's cast, you know, the car kind of cut in half, or the engine tampered with. It'll tell you so much. Basically, it'll tell you all the data you would want to know when buying a new car, or if a person wanting to buy your car wanted to check the history of it. There's just so much data that is out there, and they are going to be putting onto the database of all manufacturers. And they've recently done a deal with BMW as well. So it gives you a signal of what they are achieving in very, very short space of time. So currently it's at 0.27 of a cent. So it's a fifth of a cent basically, or a fourth of a cent. And it has gone up to 2.4 cents. So it has lost 90% of its value since the all-time high. So this gives you an indication of what can be achieved and what potential is there, because it hadn't really even got started when the bears came. All right, so it just shows you what could be achieved with what can be achieved and what potential there is for this cryptocurrency in the future. So that is the Internet of Things classification. Now we're coming towards the really juicy stuff. Platforms. So platforms, these are the kind of things that the user can just get online and use, okay? And it can help aid the user, and these platforms are disrupting the paradigm of the centralized world as we see it. So, in at number 5, we have Ethos, okay? So Ethos is a cryptocurrency project I have been speaking to you about ad nauseum, so it needs no explanation really, but just very briefly, it is a universal wallet that is intended to store securely all your altcoins and the major cryptocurrencies, plus has a fiat exchange, plus has a rewards platform, plus has a social networking platform. A huge holistic solution for anybody in the market, no matter what their level. And it also has technical analysis tools. It has everything, basically. This is one of the ultimate platforms. And this has gone up to $12.54 at its peak, and it's currently at $2.73. Could be a little bit more or less since I actually created this slide, and that is a 78% reduction. So given the quality of this cryptocurrency, it has lost a significant amount of its value during this bear period. So this could be a very good one to pick up depending on what price it goes down to. Now the Universal Wallet is getting released shortly, and this will have the ability to store your cryptocurrencies, but we'll have the fiat exchange. That will come later. So getting in before those two factors could be beneficial, may not be, depends on when it gets released. And comparing it to what Bitcoin is doing at that particular time. If it goes down to under 7,000, there's no way it's going to avoid the tsunami, but it may still grow despite it. And number 4, Steam, one of my favourites. I always predicted this was going to hit $10 within 12 months of me presenting on it, and it nearly hit it. It got up to $8.57 despite being at $1 or under $1 forever. Steam is basically a social network where you can write blogs and you can post them and you can get paid in cryptocurrency. But not only that, but they have added to their armory DTube, DAudio and DLive, which is basically live streaming, an audio app, like a music app, like, iTunes, and then also DTube, which is basically like YouTube. So they have become almost an umbrella for social networking apps, okay? And plus, they have recently got the smart media tokens as well. So they are building cryptocurrency that have enabled for businesses to make their platforms more social and allow for the payment and reward of cryptocurrency. So Steam has been massively under the radar now because of all of the exciting cryptocurrencies that have come up, but Steam is still an amazing social network. Nothing has come close to even rivaling it. And like I said, this has lost 80% of its value. This is likely to go up like the clappers. So anybody who has Steam will get Vice tokens, and any platforms that are launched via Steam will give airdrops. So many benefits to holding Steam. And number 3, Power Ledger, one of my favorites. Okay, so Power Ledger is aiming to bring the cheapest supply of electricity and energy for the household user. Okay, so they're going to be able to buy it at the lowest denominator in their currency, whether it's 1 cent or 1 rupee, whatever. You're going to be able to buy it for the lowest denominator because people are going to be selling what they have generated with solar panels. Okay, so everyday people that own solar panels that are on their house can sell their electricity, and the people who don't necessarily have to be strangled by the monopolised system and paying whatever, the biggest power company is asking them to pay, they can go and use Power Ledger. And this platform is up and running. They have already created interfaces for some of their clients. And it's a steal. 34 cents. This is only kind of 5 times more than the ICO price. So considering it's gone up to $2, this is a steal buy, and it could go down even further, perhaps way under 30 cents. So another one to keep looking at, because with all companies, they need the time to create the value for investors. People who get into this game just think that cryptocurrencies are there for, kind of immediate gratification. They're going to get rich in 10 minutes. No, good things take time. If you invest at a low point, just leave it and let them build the value for you over time. Demanding that they deliver you 10x or 100x in the space of 5 months is just unrealistic. Some can do it. Some get overhyped and come out at just the right time. But very quality companies, they take a while to deliver value. And Power Ledger, I think, is one of them. Then we have Utrust. Now, Utrust are going to be launching soon. They are going to be showing their platform next month, mid next month, and we are going to be able to see, essentially, the PayPal of the cryptocurrency world coming to life for the first time. So, this has gone up to $1.42 and is currently at only 14 cents, a 90% reduction in price. Now, look at Utrust in a very similar vein to PayPal at the beginning of the internet boom. Maybe at the beginning people thought, sounds interesting, but they probably never had any indication it would grow to what it has, okay? And it's become the behemoth of the online payments world, particularly on the internet. Now, Utrust is looking to be the equivalent of that, but in the cryptocurrency world, so that you'll be able to pay for things online with Utrust, or using Utrust as a middleman, so that you can get your cryptocurrency converted into fiat at the point of sale using Utrust. Brilliant platform. Cannot wait to see the interface of this. Cannot wait to see the finished product and see where it, well, what it leads to, really, ultimately, for the future in cryptocurrency. So at the moment, you could get it at basically at 10% of the price that it has gotten to. So anyway, so I think Utrust is one of the most undervalued. And at number one, the number one platform that I think is hideously discounted at the moment is BitDegree. BitDegree got up to 86 cents straight out of ICO. ICO was a 5-cent coin. And during the ICO, it got sold out before the end and then spiked up to 86 cents. And then after that, being one of the newer cryptocurrencies, literally coming at the end of the bull run, it was the most heavily affected, losing 96%. Now, if you don't know what BitDegree is basically Udemy in the cryptocurrency world. So not only can you pay for and get paid in cryptocurrency for online courses, but you are able to be incentivized to take courses via their smart incentives, framework, I suppose. Or smart incentives kind of rewards structure. Okay, so you can actually watch IT courses, cryptocurrency courses, apps, how to make apps and all that kind of thing, and watch it and get paid for watching it. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Now, one of the things that I loved about BitDegree is that they have the former founder of Electronic Arts, massive games business, and also senior developer at Coursera, which is one of the 2 top online education platforms. So basically everything points to this being a powerhouse in the future. Online education is one of the highest growth areas in the world, and these guys are at the forefront. There is no competition. The competition is just not even anywhere to be seen. BitDegree is at the front, and they are coming very, very soon. You're going to be able to see it in full glory. So that is the platforms. And the last is the infrastructure coins. So infrastructure is arguably the most valuable cryptocurrency classification right now, because infrastructure coins, even during a bear market, don't fall easily. And even the ones that have come out literally a week before the bear run has not gone down anywhere near to its ICO price, whereas for most of these classifications, they go down to and below the ICO price. So infrastructure coins are the most resistant to these bear markets. So what are the infrastructure coins where you can get massive returns from? Number 5, Ethereum. Ethereum is arguably the number 1 building cryptocurrency, or the number 1 infrastructure, because it's the one that most developers use. It's the one that most developers are comfortable making dApps with. It's the most, I suppose, the most mature platform for making dApps and having the structure to support it. And it's the most complete and been around for a while. Now, Ethereum is the key cryptocurrency for buying ICO, so it's also got that benefit, but ultimately is the number 1. Now, this has recently gone up to nearly $1,500 per Ethereum. But in the bear market, this has been one of the most heavily discounted, having gone well under $500 and now $455. So literally the price it was just after the summer. I mean, it's just ridiculous pricing. So, I mean, you could have gone away for a year last year, sold your Ethereum, come back, and it's virtually the same price. So, there we are. So Ethereum is now at a very good point, not only for buying into cryptocurrencies, well, not necessarily now, but during this bear period, very good time to stock up, buy into ICOs potentially, or to have it as a long-term cryptocurrency. It's the least affected of all the other infrastructures I'm going to talk about, 68% drop, but has a lot to gain because Ethereum is the most mature and is still going to be the one to beat even in 2018. And number 4, Neo. Neo is looked at as the number 2 to Ethereum, the one that's most likely to succeed Ethereum in the short term anyway, because it is the one that is currently having dApps created on it, one of them being Nex. And that is likely to be the ICO of the year. So Neo has gotten up to nearly $200. It has discounted 70%, down to $58, and it could go down below 50, could even go down to 45, could go lower than that. So this is the one that I believe certainly is going to be a 4-figure coin in the kind of next 12 to 18 months. I think it's going to follow Ethereum, and I think it's going to surpass Ethereum potentially, as long as another infrastructure coin doesn't get in there quicker and develops a developer community as quick. But Neo have developed a massive developer community. I went to the DevCon, I saw how big it was, how popular it was, and I know that Neo is looking to get to 100,000 transactions per second without sharding, without any of the kind of scaling solutions that others are using. So they are looking to get to that just naturally. Okay, how the blockchain works. So this could be a powerhouse to get into now and just leave it. Bit like buying Google back in the early days, just leave it. Leave it until it supersedes Ethereum and potentially moons. Who knows? So Neo, and they're having some really quality apps because the transactions per second is more superior to Ethereum. And number 3, Zilliqa. Zilliqa came out of ICO and spiked up to 15 cents. Just went up, just like that. And it's since lost 70% of value, but it's still in profit from the ICO. So this is, looking at this as the 3rd best infrastructure to get in with, looking at the discount, this could be a really good one for the future because it didn't even get started before the bear market smashed it down. So this could now be a $1 coin. If this had come out at the beginning of the bull run, this could have hit a $1 coin. This hasn't even got started, and it's still at 70% of a price that it hadn't even got started with. So this shows you the potential for Zilliqa. And Zilliqa is seen as, I suppose, the 3rd contender because it's actually got a public blockchain. It's actually working at the moment. It just needs some things happening with it. And they've already got Trinity as a potential partner for scaling off-chain as well. So this is looking to be the 3rd most likely successor, or 2nd most likely successor to Ethereum, especially at the moment. And it's got higher transactions per second than Neo. So another potentially great investment. The only thing that stands in the way of Zilliqa is the enormous supply compared to the likes of Neo and Ethereum. Zilliqa is 12 billion supply, in total, at about 4 billion at the moment. So that's what stands in its way of high and quick growth. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that it hasn't got a hell of a lot of growth to achieve over time. It only at the moment is about 300 and something million, market cap, which is very, very low for an infrastructure coin that's likely to compete with the likes of Ethereum down the line. And number 2, let's not waste too much time. And number 2, we've got high performance blockchain. High performance blockchain is a difference to the normal software infrastructure of blockchain. High performance blockchain is a software and hardware infrastructure for big businesses, big data processing companies. They're looking to achieve 1 million transactions per second, and I think that they are already achieving something around 100,000 transactions per second in testing. So this is one that recently came from the East. Not many people knew about. And then when people suddenly got wind of it, it soared up to nearly $14. And now it's gone back down to $2.57. Way down there on the market cap. Way down there. and has such potential to grow for the future. They are looking to make partnerships with the bigger companies like the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebooks. Big data processing, big transaction heavy companies. These guys are looking to get in with. So at $2.57, it's a potential steal. This could go down to below $2 over the rest of the bear period. Could be an amazing investment for the future. Now, I haven't spoken for ages, so I'm going to finally open this out and ask you guys, what do you think is the number one? What do you think is the number one infrastructure coin that could lead to amazing gains? And smash up the likes, by the way. Smash up the likes. Credit's making people... right. Bit degree. Credit's 100%. Matrix. EOS. OneChain. Fusion. Loads. Loads of suggestions. Loads of suggestions. POA. BitConnect. Trinity. Icon. A lot of this is a very heavily competitive area. And just looking at the guesses coming up now live, you can see that whoever's number one probably has the greatest ability for gains out of every single choice I've just made. Because some of the suggestions that you guys are making, the V-chains, the quantum, there's loads. But credits and EOS and Fusion and Icon are the ones that people are mostly guessing at. Let's unveil it. At number one, it could only be one really, couldn't it? Cardano. So, ADA, Cardano. So, this has achieved a high of $1.33 despite having quite possibly the biggest supply. And the reason why is purely because of the fact that this is looked at as the super blockchain that's going to be built. The one that surpasses all others, plus it has had the biggest loss since its all-time high. So EOS, for instance, although that is seen as very similar to Cardano in terms of being this super blockchain, this much, much better version of Ethereum, it has only lost about 64% or less. But Cardano has lost a gargantuan 88%. Now Cardano, I believe, is a $5 cryptocurrency within 12 to 18 months. Could be more than that. It all depends on the progress they make and the proof they show. Now, credits have been brilliant at showing proof. 500,000 transactions nearly. Cardano, we've seen nothing. But what we do know is that they've got a large proportion of eggheads working for them. Real, sharp, clever, the cleverest people in the blockchain space. Basically like the rocket scientists of the blockchain space. Charles Hoskinson, the former CEO of Ethereum. They've also got some other guy who I can't remember his name. He was quite a senior executive at Ethereum. So they have got some big ass minds behind Cardano. And at the moment it is 16 cents. It has gone down to 12 cents. This could go down to 10 cents at the end of the bear period, which would make it only 5 times more than it was when it entered cryptocurrency via Bittrex, when it was 2 cents. This could come in at 10 cents. And can you imagine the gains that can be made? A 50 times gain to get to that $5 valuation. And that's only for starters. You know, we're talking about a long-term project here. This could go up to well in excess of $10 and thus making times 100 and more for its investors. Okay, now the reason why Cardano certainly comes in at number one is not only does it have the biggest discount versus something like credits, which has only had about a 53-56% discount. You know, Cardano not only has had the biggest discount, but this is one that's seen by the institution anyway. Institutional level investments. Now, I mean, the people that put in millions and billions into cryptocurrency, that are putting it into long-term projects, ones that are going to stand the test of time, that are going to be there in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, they are putting their money into Cardano. They are seeing this one as the potential big cheese super blockchain that's going to be surpassing all of them. Now, from a gains point of view, maybe credits will do you better. Fusion might do you better. OneChain might do you better. That's probably it. But from a long-term perspective, if you were looking to hold on to something for years like you hold on to stocks, Cardano is the one. So that is that. So that was what I would call a rather mammoth series of coins for you to be looking at when it comes to the pinnacle of the dip. Okay, and we are just leading down towards that dip. I foresee us going close. I don't know for sure. No one does. But we could be going close to about 220 billion. Okay, maybe even less. I don't think it's going to go under 200 billion. I just can't see it. I personally just cannot see it. But you never know. It could happen. So I think that we are at the moment just edging down. There's still a bit of bull resistance. There are people thinking, right, we got some great prices. There's a lot of red. Let's chuck in some money because I'd rather do it now than miss out on a bull period. And so there's this resistance. There's this support that is stopping the cryptocurrency market absolutely crashing very, very quickly. And a lot of the whales have taken their money out. So it's not as if they can crash the market like they did back in December when it went from 20k to 16k Bitcoin in the space of an hour. Okay, so they're not likely to do that. They can't really do that because the whales have taken their money out. So it's just going to be mainly a gradual sell-off from the rest of the market. And there's going to be a lot of people holding. But it's just a lot of the people that are, that just want to take their money out, put it in Tether because it's going to go down much lower. That's going to happen over time. And the likes of One Chain, I'm still maintaining this could go right down to early $2, maybe even less than that. Okay, so I mean, people, there's still this community that think, oh, you can't get under $3 One Chain. Those people are just deluded, just like the people who probably never thought Bitcoin would see the price that it has again. So, any more questions? Because I've been online for ages, what feels like forever, in fact. By the way, guys, what do you think of this dark themed coin market cap? Do you prefer it, or do you prefer ye old white look? Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that lovely appraisal of this video. I have covered Axpire. Somebody said, why don't you cover Axpire? I have covered it in a minor detail, but I'm not covering it really just for the sake of the fact that Shingo Levine is an advisor. That's not a reason to cover it. I cover it because it's good. How you make it dark? Can't say. Can't say, peeps. Can't say. Put it this way. You can't do it via the CoinMarketCap interface. Anyway, anything else? Anything? Thank you very much, Barry. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, Crypto Leaks. Can you advise what happens to Blockport with the recent developments to Binance, Coinbase, and Ethos? Well, I will say that really Binance is the one you should be thinking about because they're the ones that have made the most dramatic difference. Binance, I was lucky to get in Binance back at 70 cents. Okay, I bought it at about $1.50 or something. It went up to $2.90. This was in its initial peak, and then I sold it. I made a big loss actually, selling this at 90 cents. When there was a big crash in September. And then it went down to 74 cents, which was the point I got back in and stayed in. And I've been lucky. Binance are definitely the biggest threat to Blockport. But having said that, given how this market works, which is essentially let's make the gains, people will be looking at Blockport as being a competitor to Binance. Okay, so they will be thinking, right, Blockport could be second to Binance. They could supersede Binance. There's a ton of growth hacking. Let's face it. Back when Binance came out, nobody thought that they would overtake Bittrex and Poloniex. Bittrex and Poloniex were like the two Goliaths exchanges in cryptocurrency. Now you don't give a stuff about them. You don't give a shit about them. Now what you care about is Binance, Qcoin, and Buybox, right? Those are the three exchanges now. And Blockport can easily make it into that as long as they make it very clear how it works, make it very user-friendly for newbies, then that could be up there with Binance's decentralized exchange. And Nex is coming out as well. So, it's going to be a highly competitive area. Having said that, Blockport is a very undervalued cryptocurrency, whereas the others are not. 19 million market cap versus Binance's 1.1 billion. I mean, for an investment point of view and for making gains, it's a no-brainer. You'd go into Blockport for the gains, particularly because you could just leave your money in there. And even if it gets up to Binance, well, there we are. There's already, what is that? 100x. Yeah, 100x. So, you know, you would go into Blockport for that specific reason. You could make those gains. And there's more likelihood of you making 100x than making 100x with Binance. So there we are. Any more questiones? Smash up the likes, by the way. Only 773 likes. There's a ton of people watching. 2.5k watching. Smash up the likes. The likes are essentially like your guest book. That's like saying, Superman, I enjoyed your video. I'm going to leave you a like. I'm going to leave myself a like because I'm feeling sorry for myself. Like smashed. Any more questiones? Campus Coin, not interested. Why no QuantStamp? QuantStamp didn't quite fit in with any of those categories. QuantStamp is more a disruptor. QuantStamp is more of a, you know, we're going against the paradigm. Okay, QuantStamp is not a platform. It's not a privacy coin. It's not an infrastructure. It's a security. So, well, not a security cryptocurrency, but it's security based. So you're making sure that a cryptocurrency smart contract is secure, has all of its patches patched, making sure that it is working properly and not likely to, you know, not deliver on investment. So if you put some money in, the smart contract should activate some form of output out of it. So so it doesn't come in any of those classifications, but it is still amazing. VeChain is brilliant, but under the IoTs, it's had the lowest drop. You know, so if we look at VeChain, it's had like a 60% drop. You know, from its all-time high, which was just under under $10. So that's the reason why it didn't make the cut, because it's not had the biggest discount. But having said that, it could grow from the point of achieving its all-time high because it's got some great partnerships. Red Pulse is similar. Red Pulse is like research. That doesn't come under any of the classifications I went through. You know, you could say, why haven't you looked at this? Why haven't you looked at that? Because they don't come under those classifications. These cryptocurrencies I've gone through are the main ones within those classifications. So that's why it makes sense. Otherwise, I'd be here all day covering 1,500 cryptocurrencies, which would just be stupid. Credits mooning. Let's see how Credits is doing. I do anticipate that people are going to be selling off profits, but it's still in the top 100 and it's still at 75 cents. So it's doing well, considering it's reached a high. It has gone up to $1.17, so I don't quite know why people aren't, you know, just keeping investing in it. Anything else? Lala. Well, that doesn't come under any of the categories, and plus it's not that great, for God's sake. Thank you, Crypto Chick. I appreciate that. Thoughts about Loom Network? My understanding of Loom Network is that it's a scaling solution for Ethereum-based games, like DApp games. So let's just have a oh, look at this. You've got TradingView as well. So yeah, I've got a really super version of CoinMarketCap. So we look at Loom Network. I know that this is one that Ian Bellina's really bullish on, and a lot of people have said, "Oh, can you cover it? Can you cover it?" So it's a scaling solution for online games, DApps, basically. So, you know, but I don't like gaming-related cryptocurrencies. Just don't see it. Now, there is something that's quite similar called P-Chain. P-Chain is meant to be way more serious than Loom Network. So I think that the commercial value of P-Chain is far higher than Loom Network. So that's why I'm not really that interested in Loom Network. It's obviously a pretty good platform. Looks like it'll be pretty good for the evolution of CryptoKitty-esque apps. However, don't think it's got the commercial appeal of P-Chain, which is quite similar. How is Ontology doing? Ontology, I spoke about the other day, has experienced an amazing bullish movement since. It was like 150 when I talked about it. Now it's gone up a whole $1. And the fact is, I think this has just exploded too much. Look at the volume, 151 million. And I think this is institutional money, peeps, because of its close relationship with Neo. And this is essentially like a complement. This is a complementary system to Neo. You know, this is building like the trust-based kind of framework for Neo. So, you know, this is why I think Ontology is getting a hell of a lot of investment. I think it's going to go down. So I think it's quite a risky game putting money in. But, you know, there we are. There we are in Marble Arch. Apple's own coin announcement. No, I haven't seen that. Cargo X. I think that's just died really. Let's have a look and see Cargo X. Yeah, I think it's got a relatively good use case, but I don't think many people. I don't think that bill of lading has real commercial appeal. You know, I don't think this attracted many commercial investors or institutional investors at ICO. Therefore, I think that it's really just the community that's going to keep it up. So I don't have a huge amount of... Cargo X just kind of died. The most hype it ever had was during the ICO, where it sold out in about 7 seconds or something like that, 7 minutes. I didn't get involved. I kind of wanted to, but was glad I didn't, because I think it was a Dutch auction or something. So, but I think it's dead, pretty much. I think it's just going to... There's too many exciting things for this to thrive. So I think it's just going to die, personally. But again, peeps, that's my own personal opinion. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right, but I probably am. Works like, talks like, acts like Cash. Don't know, really. Cash is... I looked at Cash, it's okay. Banyan Network, I think, is great. Missed you too. Hi from Malta. Thank you, Novator Design. Faceitter. I love Faceitters concept, but I haven't properly looked. I think, as far as I'm led to believe, I think it's a face recognition security system. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that is what it is, but it's not come out yet, has it? So I'm going to wait for that to come out, and I think that unless it's an infrastructure coin, it's not worth buying anything at ICO. You know, Yggdrash, P-Chain, NeoChain, Zebi, they are good. You know, those are the kind of ICOs you would buy into because they're infrastructure based. But you're looking at DApps, forget it. No point. I've looked at Drophill, but don't really like the concept of it. So I'm not gonna bother with that. Cardano easily over Ripple, yeah, because Cardano has like the sentiment, the positive sentiment behind it, whereas Ripple doesn't. You know. So, Mexico. I've got a flavor. Icon. What about Icon? Icon, as I said yesterday, I always do that. I always type in the cryptocurrency and then just press enter instead of selecting it properly and then pressing enter. So Icon, I think, could achieve $30-40 this year, depending on the quality of the DApps they launch. But it's a 10x, so, you know, and they haven't... they're good. They're pretty good. They've lost quite a substantial discount. By the way, peeps, if you want to know how to find out how much a cryptocurrency has dropped from its all-time high, you just go to all-time high coin index, and it will show you everything you need to know. It will show you all the percentages. So if you were thinking of any particular cryptocurrency that I haven't covered, you know, like Nano, for instance... You know, where's Nano? 82% from its all-time high of 37. You know, so if you wanted to look at particular ones, then you can have a look and see how much they have gone down from their all-time high. So, ATH coin index. Icons here, 77%. So, not bad. Not bad. This is more of an... This is definitely one of the kind of ecosystem coins that I'm really, you know, kind of liking. But I think that most of the money's been made on it, you know. Most of the money was made at ICO. So, you know, now it's just a case of making a few dregs here and there. But really, the big 100xer was already made. So, you know, what I think that would benefit most of the market is to just find the next 100xer, you know. Don't chase the 10x's, you know, unless, you know, if you're going to be making... If you're going to be making ICO investments, chase the 100x's, and those are mainly in infrastructures, particularly ones that do something different. And Icon did bring something different. OneChain's still heavily priced. Let me just have a look and see how much this is. So 335 times 107 million supply. 358 million. It's just too much. I mean, let's have a look at Zilliqa, for instance. Now, Zilliqa is way better than OneChain. And Zilliqa is $35 million less than OneChain at its current price. That just shows you how much OneChain can and should drop. Because it shouldn't be worth more than Zilliqa. Okay, let's face it. It shouldn't. Because, you know, it's, you know, these guys are just still very, very early on. Zilliqa are much further in their kind of production. So all those saying, you know, stupid things about OneChain, it is going to drop because the value should not be where it is. So anyway, so there we are. There we are, peeps. I think that's it. because I've been now live for a donkey's years. So I'm going to make a movie woof. But, thank you guys for being here. And I hope that you've enjoyed today's live stream. And I hope that you've learnt a lot from it. Now, the reason why I brought you it, just to end on a final note, and smash up the likes while I'm making this final note. The reason why I brought you this today is because I have been what I would say is a mixture of both lucky and good at this. But mainly lucky in that I found cryptocurrency when I did and have made a lot of money from holding. True, I've lost a lot of money holding too during this bear period. But I'm confident that when the market picks up, that I'm going to be 10 times more than I was at the highest during the bull run in the long term, and possibly more than that. Literally doing nothing and just waiting and holding my current positions. Now, I am constantly investing in new things, so I, like you, am always investing. Always investing. You can't always get it right, but certainly what I will say to you is that you have to invest during the dips. Most people invest when it's at an all-time high. A lot of people that have come to me and said, can you help me with my portfolio, bought all-time highs. A lot of them got, a lot of these cryptocurrencies when they were 60% more than they are now. And that was very near the top. And really the time to do the work is now. Okay, now and towards the end of the bear period. And it's not a case of timing. It's more a case of bottoming. Not meaning to sound inappropriate. But the market needs to bottom before it moons. Which is essentially the same thing. Because moon... Anyway. So you need for it to hit a floor before it goes up. Okay, so it's not really a case of what date. It's more a case of when will it hit the floor. And then when the institutional money come in and bang it up. Now, consensus in May will help it dramatically. But I do think that the bulls are going to come well before the 14th of May. And the 14th of May is only going to exacerbate the bullish movement and turn it more aggressive towards mid to end of August. I think we're just going to have a big bull period where the inverse of what's happening now is going to happen. Where people are going to say, when's it going to crash? 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 Like right now, people are saying, when's it going to moon? When's it going to moon? When's it going to moon? And they're going to say the opposite in a few months' time. So what happened last year? Last year, around about this time, was when I made 40k on Ripple. And, and then subsequently made probably the best investment ever, which was Ethos. So all I'm saying is that the times are going to come again, but the work starts now. You do the work now, you strategize now, and that's basically the way to think about it. So that is lecture over. I am not going to be around for the next couple of days. If you have seen my Easter egg from one of my videos the other day, there was a little Easter egg. You may not have seen it, don't know, but that is what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. So I'm going to be concentrating on that. So I might not be around tomorrow, maybe, might not be. So, but it's just warning you in advance. May be here tomorrow, may not be here Friday. Don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I is off now, peeps. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you all for coming and watching, and I'll see you next time. It is from me, lights out, all out.